Jason's got good implied odds if he hits his straight. Barry may keep the pressure on, do the betting for him.
The turn completes Jason's straight.
Now, if Barry was putting him on a small pair before, this deuce won't matter to him. He's going to keep firing.
Barry does fire 10,000.
Barry thinks this is a value bet. Jason now has the nuts. He's trying to figure out how to get max value. He doesn't want to chase Barry out of this pot.
Mercier comes over the top to 24-5.
Because Barry check raised the flop and then let out on the turn, Jason's putting him on a hand strong enough to call this raise.
Greenstein calls.
Barry makes the call because he thinks top pair is good a lot of the time against Jason's range.
The river, the ace of diamonds. Barry checks.
This ace doesn't change anything for Jason. He still has the nuts. Gonna try to get max value.
Come on.
Jason Mercier moves all in.
Jason was a little short going into this hand, so he had less than the size of the pot to bet. It's going to be tough for Barry to get a read on him based on his bet size.
Oh, yeah. I think it's 42.
Now, if Barry's considering calling, it's because there are some busted draws out there. Barry is getting decent odds to call. He's getting 2.5 to 1. That means he only has to be right 2 out of 7 times to make this call profitable. So all it comes down to is how often Barry thinks Jason is bluffing in this spot.
All right.
Barry folds. Jason Mercier rakes in a nice-sized pot.
Barry came to the conclusion that Jason simply wouldn't bluff often enough in that spot.
And just like that, Jason is out of the red and into the black. So that round went to the young gun. But let's reload. Isaac, a.k.a. Ike Haxton, is 24, an Ivy Leaguer who's taken home over $2.6 million in tourney cashes.
I like Ike, and Ike likes taking down big pots. Here he takes his shot at poker legend Barry Greenstein.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have done
Pocket nines.
Pocket nines considered to be on the low end of big pocket pairs.
Raise to 2,500. Ike, ace 10.
Big ace on the button. Ike may be considering a raise.
One of my favorite plays to try to bluff a guy that's on.
Nope, makes just the call.
I thought he was going to feel like he was
Rest of the table folds.
Ace 10 is sometimes a trap hand, but Ike is on the button.
2 to the flop.
We've got a poker legend versus one of poker's young guns.
Deuce, king 8.
Should see a continuation bet from Barry.
Makes it 3,500 to go.
Knowing that Barry continuation bets every time, wouldn't be surprised to see Ike peel one off.
He does.
Even if he misses, he could be able to take Barry off his nines.
The turn. Ike hits his 10.
Checks.
Barry checks.
Ike's now ahead in the hand with 2 overcards out there. Barry's slowed down a little bit. He might like his nines, but he's trying to control the pot.
Ike fires 9,000.
Barry knows Ike may be making this move, just knowing that Barry checked. Ike probably doesn't think Barry would have checked a king on the turn.
Barry comes over the top to 27,000.
After Ike called the flop and then bet into Barry on the turn, Barry is more than likely trying to take Ike off his hand right now.
27,000.
And he doesn't. Ike calls.
Once Ike makes the call, Barry probably knows his nines are no good.
The river, the queen of spades.
This is a scare card for Barry. Overcard for Ike as well.
Barry checks.
He's giving Ike a chance at a free showdown. Ike's contemplating a bet, it looks like. His hand does have some showdown value.
Ike bets $48,000. And Barry folds.
Barry showed weakness twice by checking 2 streets. Ike took advantage. Even Barry's check raise on the turn wasn't enough to take him off his hand.
I think I was bluffing, but you folded so fast I might not have been.
So the young gun takes down the old guard. Still to come.
How much do you have, Lex? Raise pot.
Oh, Scott Seaver, you're crazy. What is this guy doing? So weird.
And when we come back, the pride of the Netherlands, Lex Veldhuis, shoots first and asks questions later.
I'll pot.
What are you doing now?
I'm potting. He's fine.
Oh, really?
It's an amazing spot.
Do you think you can beat this game? For a chance to be a loose cannon and play on the big game this season, log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day.
All that when we come back on the best of the big game, Young Guns Night.
One of the greatest advantages of being a poker player is having the freedom to do what you want.
The poker lifestyle can be great. I mean, you know, people stay in the finest motels, they get to travel all over the world.
What I always say is the best part about being a professional poker player is not having an alarm clock in the morning. There's nothing in the world quite like every single day just waking up when your body is ready to wake up.
And I also love the freedom that it gives me and pretty much set my own schedule and do what I want to do.
He's Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose, and we continue on with the best of the big game, Young Guns Night.
I think we should just call it Kids Play the Darndest Monster Pots.
I like it. Our next hand features a young Dutchman. Straight out of Amsterdam, 26-year-old internet kid Lex Veldhuis.
He was stuck almost 60 grand, and occasionally his overly aggressive style got him into trouble.
See how this young gun's fearless play worked out when all 5 of the pros at this table tried to see a flop.
The action was on Daniel, and here's how he called the
You
hand.
don't want to. You only want to put 8. Let the man have his fun.
Daniel looking at ace-4 suited.
Okay, I think I screwed your whole plan up already.
See, this is what I said, like...
Raise.
Sorry. But it was fun that you did that. Let me ask you a question. Was that fun for you?
It's fine.
Did you enjoy it? But you enjoyed it, having the money out there like a crazy gambler. 800 in the dark. It was fun.
Scott calls, also with ace-4 suited. Todd calls.
Because Daniel raised, Aaron gets to take back his straddle.
What are you doing?
Thank you, Daniel.
He folds. Pocket 6s for Lex. He calls. Vanessa.
40.
Pocket 8s.
Things could get pretty interesting here as everyone's got a bona fide hand. Looks like Vanessa's thinking about a squeeze, but I'm not sure how many of these maniacs are actually going to fold.
Raise pot, whatever that is.
Vanessa raises to 7,800. Daniel. Take your time calling there, pal.
He was getting about 3 to 1 on his money.
Now Scott.
Now that Daniel's called, Scott's getting 4 to 1 on his money.
66 more?
That's correct, sir.
Scott calls.
As more players call, the pot odds continue to improve. 5 to 1 now for Todd.
Do a hero play right here.
What's that?
He folds.
Exactly what I was going for.
Todd knows he's unlikely to be ahead. Lex with his 6s is certainly getting the right price.
I'll pot.
What are you doing now?
I'm potting. He's fine.
Oh, really?
It puts them all in.
Lex re-raises to nearly 41,000.
Lex is trying to collect any dead money that might be out there, and if he gets called, there's always the chance he'll win the hand.
Okay, so what's in the pot right now? Like, should I call?
What do you mean?
If I were to raise, like in other words, what would be the
It would
raise
basically
pot
put
right
you
now?
all in.
Yeah.
It would basically put you all in.
139.8.
That wouldn't put me all in. I had 210 before, 220 before then, yeah.
I don't think people are going to play a flop when you make a 139. You'd be surprised what I do.
Lex is trying to get some protection, and Scott's angling to be able to see a flop. Vanessa's trying to figure out what hands Lex would cold call shove with.
Repot.
Vanessa pots it. Daniel folds.
You said you had like 215?
Something like that before the hand.
They did send in the cooler. They called it in.
I think Scott's posturing a bit. Don't think he can really call or raise. He might be just trying to make Vanessa and Lex sweat for the fun of it.
So nonchalant. I couldn't have been happier to snap you off. It's really, really, really nonchalant.
Scott folds. And Lex is in for the rest of his.
Do we show? I mean, do we have to show?
Yeah, show.
Hold on a second there, buddy. This is a cash game, and Lex doesn't have to show till the end if he doesn't want to.
What?
Gotta give Vanessa credit. She made the right read and made the right move to isolate Lex, and now she's in a great spot to bust him and win a huge pot.
Lex is all in as it's pair versus pair. Queen 7 Jack.
Fuck joint. Dang. Had a feeling too.